Hi, my name is Roderick, and I'm a software engineer based in Ottawa. I work at a company called SnowedIn Studios, and I've been doing this for about 5 years. Before this, I've been a QA analyst, a content manager for WB, DC Kids, their websites and their YouTube channels, and I've been a game designer. For me, it's something as a kid, I would like to play video games. So I knew from a young age, I was like, I want to make those things somehow, some way. So I started, I remember in some high school, I got my first programming course and I was just super excited because it's like, finally, I get to make my own ideas and do things like that. So that's where I really started. I had kind of a bumpy road. I went to university. I didn't get into the program I wanted to get. I think I was in economics at first, and then I had to pivot around, and I took like a year off at one point because a new program, interactive multimedia design, was created, and I heard about it late. So I was one of those guys who was probably in the third year, and then they changed, and everyone's like, "Why'd you change?" And I just knew this path was not for me. But then I saw this new path just open up, and it was, serendipitous, and I got into there, and that's where my life changed, where I met a lot of good people who I'm still great friends with today, and they've just had their own careers that have just blossomed. So it's great seeing that, and I just went to school, learned how to get some skills. But the real thing is I did a lot of it on my own. Most of like Unity is what I use in my day to day most of the time, and I learned all of that by myself. I got into it by myself, and I just went at it and read tutorials, tried some stuff, and just kept going, kept digging. That's how I learned C#. I didn't. That was not taught in school. I just learned it on my own. I learned C++ in school and some ActionScript and some other PHPs and whatnot. But once you learn one language, you can kind of transfer it to another one once you have the basic syntax, because you kind of know how it works. The concepts are generally the same. Just how do I write the words out? So usually it doesn't take that long to pick up a new language. But yeah, just learning on my own. I was with the company, and I was a QA analyst, and Unity had come out with their new 2D pipeline, and I thought it was really cool, and I wanted to learn how to do it. So I just picked it up and made this like Mario Brothers demo where Mario's running around, jumping in pipes and stuff like that. And one day I just showed it to the game design lead at the company I was working at, just not even for anything specific. I just like, we're kind of friends. So I just showed it to him one day. I'm like, hey, look what I made. And lo and behold, I had no idea, but the company was looking to branch out and increase their game design department so they can make prototypes for clients and try to use more things in that space. And then he brought me into the game design department so we could help, so I could do that and make prototypes and help with that. So that's how I got into game design, which was my dream job. To be a software engineer, you should probably have a post-secondary education in computer science, software engineering, or computer math, an aptitude for problem solving and problem detection, and creativity and an open mind. Day-to-days are pretty structured in what you do, but how you achieve those goals can kind of vary every day. Generally, we have tasks that are assigned to us from a project manager, and we accomplish those tasks. But sometimes you'll have to reach out to an artist, or you have to reach out to a member on a different team and have a conversation and try to find out what they need and what their actual asks are. And then once you figure that out, you'll go back to your desk or whatever, and you start implementing a solution. And that's pretty much. And you just go back and forth. So this is a tricky question because there's so many languages and there's so many problems to solve. It's hard to just nail it down. The basic one that kind of is the most basic languages that kind of have the biggest spread would be C++, C#, and JavaScript. C++ and C# for the application side, more the offline things like Photoshop and Blender or, Word or whatnot. But if you want to go on the web side, there's that space has just grown so much, but JavaScript seems to be the one of the main ones in that space, with applications like Discord or Slack, where your applications can run on the web and they can also run offline. So those three languages kind of have the biggest spread, but it really depends on project to project. You might not use anything like these languages in a full-time job somewhere else. So it really depends on what company you want to work for and what you actually want to do with your skills. If you have the idea in your head, you think that it's something that you want to do it. Unfortunately, there's this thing called imposter syndrome, where people feel like, you don't fit in, you don't actually belong, but you do. We all do. Just do it. That's a nagging feeling that is, I don't know. You gotta just do it. You just go for it. You belong. Your ideas belong. We need new ideas in this day and age. There's a lot of reboots and a lot of new things. We need some fresh ideas. We need some fresh minds. You have an idea, just do it. There's content for everybody these days. There's all sorts of audiences and people's tastes are changing. There's a lot of stagnant ideas out there. We need those fresh ideas. We need more black faces in the offices. I've worked at many companies, and there's not very many of us. So, I'd love to be able to see a lot more faces that look like mine in the offices. And all sorts of roles, creative directors, CEOs, programmers, whatever. Just get out there, we belong. So just get out there, do it, tell your story. It's even better if you go around and you say, oh, you're looking and you see the space. It's like, no one's really doing anything like me. That's even more reason to do it, because that's a new story. That's a new angle. That's a new perspective. And we need those new perspectives.